as you can see.
Getting back to kind of the threats here, I mean, if anybody just calls in and makes a threat, shuts down a student project, especially what they're passionate about, is that unfair to the students? I mean, it seems like everybody was on board with this, but was the threat enough to say we have to shut it down? I mean, it looks like you have enough force out here to...
Right. It wasn't one threat. We didn't have one particular threat that came in. The professor reached this after weighing a variety of issues and a variety of reasons to come to this decision.
Was this not thought of before? I mean, it seemed like they were determined they were going to put on the show.
Right. Throughout the week, it's just gotten increasingly more high profile, volatile.
What's been the reaction from the Board of Regents, Lieutenant Governor's office, the Governor's office, to this decision?
I don't know that reaction.
Do they have any sway with Professor Hawthorne?
The professor made this decision.
To kind of get what they're talking about, was there a lot of political persuasion to stop this, other than protesting?
The professor made this decision on his own.
Did the professor speak to anybody, the Lieutenant Governor?
He did not speak to the Lieutenant Governor or the Board of Regents.
Where is the professor? Where is Professor Hawthorne, who made this decision to cancel the play, but he's not here? I don't see him here, but I've never met him. Is he here?
The professor is on campus, yes, he is. He's talking with some of the students, and I mean, this is a disappointing decision for him too.
Is he available for comment?
No, not really.
So in the beginning, when the play at first was controversial, the decision to have the play continued was Charleston's decision. But now that the play is canceled, you're stating that it's Professor Hawthorne's decision alone.
Yes.
It's good.
It's good.
How everything's going this morning and the
Sure.
latest?
The decision was made last night by the professor of the 4 student-directed plays, that all 4 would not be performed today as planned due to safety and security reasons, and also the need to maintain an academic integrity classroom.
Were there any threats that were made towards the students individually or the campus or anybody?
There were no direct threats. However, we did receive several very hateful emails and phone calls throughout the past couple of weeks.
So is that what tipped the scale to cause cancellation?
Well, again, I mean, the professor really made this decision on his own. The university was 100% behind the student's right to produce this play. It's a First Amendment right. It was an academic freedom right. The university was prepared to support that. The professor made this decision that he did not want to expose his students to this type of academic atmosphere.
So did the Lieutenant Governor weighing in have any sway one way or the other?
Well, the Lieutenant Governor has his opinion.
What kind of threats are we talking about? Were they just hateful in the project itself, or they were threatening any of the students or the campus?
No. To my knowledge, there were no direct threats that toward the students, but they were, generic and general threats that that were vicious and hateful.
Does this have anything to do with the fact that we have Texans wars going on today?
Does the cancellation?
Yeah.
I'm sure the professor took that into consideration.
What kind of measures were taken as far as security for the students throughout the week and this morning?
As you can see on campus, we have several police presences. We did have plans, safety and security plans, that we put into place, having no idea how many demonstrators would show up or how many people who would show up in support of the play. So we wanted to be prepared for any contingency.
How were the students notified?
The professor notified them last night.
And their reaction, do you know?
Well, I do know the reaction of the student director, and while he's very saddened by this, he supports this decision.
So Mr. Ote's in full support of having all of his work for the semester, this is his midterm grade, be canceled.
He's not in full support. I mean, this is very, very disappointing to him and to other people. However, he understands the reasons why this decision was reached by Professor Holton.
What will they do now for the midterm grade?
It's between the professor and the student.
Are they going to reschedule the plays on campus or off campus?
The plays will not be rescheduled. They will not be performed.
Not even the other three?
Well, there are actually 5 other ones, and that decision is still being made. Oh, I'm sorry, you mean the other 3 that were supposed to be performed today? Okay, no, those 3 will not be performed. None of those plays will be performed.
So the decision for the May 1st plays, that's what you're talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. And